librarian with the Elyria Library, and I am on a Friday field trip. So today we've been invited to the Friendship APL out in Elyria, and with me is Greg, the Executive Director of the Friendship APL, and he is going to talk to us a little bit about the APL's mission and some of the services they offer, and hopefully we get to meet some of the cute furry creatures behind me. So, hi, thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I'm really excited to be able to talk about what we do here at Friendship Animal Protective League. It's so exciting. During this time, and as we get closer to opening up and going back to normal services, we're really thrilled to be able to do what we do, which is very simple. I tell all the kids that come and visit us, what we do is so simple, a 4-year-old can understand what we do, which is we rescue animals, we take care of them while they're here, and then we find them new homes. That's the simplest answer to what we do. Now, obviously, there is a lot that goes into that, all those different things, and rescuing animals comes in a variety of shapes and forms for a humane society. For us, we have the animal cops, basically the people that go and investigate acts of animal cruelty and make sure that the animals are taken care of or remove them from a home and try to rehome them safely into a new and better home. The other thing we do is we take owner surrenders. Those are animals that the owners can no longer take care of for one reason or another. We try to safely get those in a managed way to try to avoid overcrowding while still helping as many animals as we possibly can. And finally, we transfer animals in from other rescues and shelters where the animals might be in danger due to the fact that they are overcrowded or do not have enough space. And those animals will come to us and we will work here to try to rehome them. Those are the 3 ways we basically rescue our animals and take care of them. So the other thing is care. Obviously, care is a huge all-encompassing thing, and anybody that has a pet knows how much can go into caring for one animal. Now what we ask that people to do is multiply that by 150 to 200 animals, and that's kind of what we do here at the shelter. We have so many animals that have to be taken care of on a day-to-day basis, and that goes for everything from feeding and giving them water to vaccinating and giving all those wonderful shots, which we're all going through right now, which we were so prepared for, and why we here at Friendship APL we're so pro-vaccine, because obviously we have to do it for all these guys all the time, and anybody that does routine animal care knows what that's like. So the other thing we have to do is make sure all our animals are spayed and neutered, microchipped before they go home. And so we try to get them as ready as we possibly can to find that forever home. Well, largely what we do is clean up poop. So no doubt about it, it's what we do all the time. It is what we are truly experts in. All my education seems to have gone directly into that. So that is the exciting thing of what we do. And of course there's other things like giving them love and attention and socialization and exercise and walks. Foster homes when necessary for animals that might have ongoing and long-term illnesses or injuries that they are recovering and recuperating from. A lot of times it's finding homes for kittens and puppies that are our most vulnerable population within a shelter environment. So trying to find those places to go where they can be raised safely while they get prepared for finding a forever home. The final thing is adoption. Adoption is truly what we're really good at, and that's the fact of the matter is, what it comes down to is, as the ASPCA would say, we are their voice. They cannot tell you their stories themselves. So what we have to do is find elaborate ways to tell stories of these animals, share them out into the world, and let them inspire people to come down and take a chance and give an animal a forever home. We do that through sometimes photos and video, and other times through just words, and trying to create people in their minds what a lot of these animals have been through before going to their new home and on their new journey, and trying to get them to inspire people, those stories to inspire people to want to be part of that story, to share in that story, to want to bring that story into their lives so they can share that story with their friends and families and others. And also, that's how you kind of change the world. You just do that through storytelling, and no one should know that better than
a librarian,
right? So that's really what it boils down to. It's the same thing. It's just the ability to tell stories, which is one of the things I truly love about our job, because at heart I'm just an old-fashioned Irish storyteller, and that's what makes me so good at trying to facilitate these animals and finding that forever home.
So say I want a new cat and I want to adopt a cat. Can I just walk in and be like, I want that one?
So, here's basically the way that goes. So, we right now are scheduled out by appointment, so people would have to be pre-approved to adopt by appointment before coming down here. As of June 2nd, and when this video is coming out, we will be opening back up to the public where that will be an option for you. Now, we allow people to take chances and risks, and we encourage people to take chances on animals. And sometimes, you may not find that perfect fit the first time. So we understand that. So yes, a lot of times it is as simple as what you just said. This is the cat I'd like. Afterwards, you'd fill out an application. We make sure you're qualified to adopt and that you're allowed to have pets at your residence. That's an important key factor for us, is just trying to identify and making sure that you're even allowed to have that animal, let alone what may go along with it. And then making sure you understand the medical needs or requirements that the animal may have before you take it home, because a lot of these animals have ongoing conditions and health concerns that may require ongoing care. But ultimately, yes, it is as simple as finding that one that kind of speaks to you. Finding that one that connects with you, finding that one that is interested in, and it can be just that simple connection, that simple feeling of this animal speaking to me in some way, shape, or form, that spiritual connection that exists between humans and animals that has, allowed us to cohabitate together for literally, tens of thousands of years, which is, that's how deep these relationships are and that connection is. So I'm always excited to see when someone just sees an animal for the first time and just goes, yep, that is the one. That one just caught my eye and was looking at me in a way that just said to me, take me home. And that's oftentimes as simple as that.
It's often how I've wound up with animals.
That's correct. So dogs can be a little bit more complicated. Cats can be a little bit more simple. Dogs can be a lot more complicated, because ultimately with dogs, you're trying to find, a much more appropriate fit, between energy and, understanding who you are. Not who you want to be, but who you are. Because we'll get people that come down here and they'll be like, well, my goal is to shed that COVID-19. Like that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to get a dog because I'm going to go start walking. Well, you probably should start walking first, and then try to find a dog that's going to fit that walking style that you have. If you've been a couch potato and you're kind of couch potato, nothing wrong with being a couch potato. I'm like, if you're quiet and just like to enjoy a book at home, don't get the most rambunctious dog in the shelter. Don't get a Siberian Husky, because a Siberian Husky does not want to curl up at your feet while you have a cup of tea and read a book. That's not what that dog wants to do. That dog in that environment may chew up all your books. And just to kind of tell you how much it disagrees with this lifestyle that you've chosen for that dog. So, you may want an older lab that's going to be more relaxed, where the metabolism is really slowed down, and just wants to kind of curl up on a couch, go for that casual walk every once in a while, but doesn't need to run the Iditarod to get all the energy out of it. So, so lifestyle becomes a much larger factor when you're thinking about dogs and how they're going to coexist with you.
So does the APL, do they only do dogs and cats, or do they do other animals as well?
We do all sorts of animals. Those are the primary two. But we do take in, the third most common is rabbits and bunnies. We get a lot of bunnies and rabbits in at the shelter. So those are always looking for forever homes, as well as other small animals like guinea pigs and ferrets and chinchillas and sugar gliders and hedgehog from time to time. Those are rarer, but we do occasionally get them in. We usually get them in when kids move on out of the home, or they're not taking care of them, or something changes in their lifestyle, and those are animals that are looking for a more stable environment. We also get the occasional bird in, and feathered friend, and once in a blue moon, a snake or two. We do, as a shelter, care for everything. So that would be, we also have places and foster homes that take care of things like horses and pigs and goats when we occasionally get those in, as well as our, any other kind of farm animal that we might be responsible for. So lots of different types of animals that we get in. But those are, like I said, kind of rare, kind of more exotic. The more exotic they are, the kind of rarer they are
So, going back to the services that you offer, I did see on your website that you were offering a pet food pantry once a month for Lorain County residents.
Yes.
Are you still doing that?
Yes, it's the second Saturday of every month here at the shelter. We have just started this program up. This is for low-income families that may be struggling during the pandemic or facing all sorts of crises right now. And I know when we share in that experience with everybody, and what we want them to do is, rather than having to rehome their pets or give up their animals, we will supply you during this time with some food or much needed supplies to get you through and over this hurdle while we go back to normalization and we go back to figuring things out. So we don't want people to have to give up their pets for that reason. So yes, the second Saturday of every month, we have this service that we're providing here at the shelter, and you can definitely check out our website for more information on that and see what we are providing. Largely speaking, it's mostly dry food. We do have access to other things as needed, though.
That's awesome. So there is this disconnect between adopting like baby animals versus senior animals. Do you have any incentive for people to think about adopting a senior animal versus a cute cuddly kitten or puppy?
So, yes, we do our Senior for Seniors program. This is where we place senior cats, in particular in homes with senior families. And if you are a senior and you want the company and companionship of a senior pet, we waive the adoption fee in that case, so that those animals can go and live their lives. A lot of times they're here because of that similar situation, because they lost a loved one, or maybe the loved one had to move into a retirement home or someplace that did not accept or allow pets to go, and those animals end up here. And you know, a nice senior home is what they're used to. They're not used to having kids running around all over the place. They want just the quiet companionship of a loving home, and that's quiet and gentle, and it's going to take care of them. Our senior dogs are only $50 to adopt. That's and for all of those are animals over the age of 7 years old. Those are what we consider seniors or senior friends, and we reduce the price on those as well to help encourage people to adopt them as well and give them that chance. And so those are the ways we kind of try to encourage people to get seniors, but we also want people to understand that like senior animals are not for everybody. Senior animals may not fit into a home with 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds running around that want to play and roughhouse and wrestle, because as we get older, you know, we don't necessarily, you know, our knees and our joints get worse too, and so, you know, it gets a little bit harder on them to keep up with a high energy, very active home. So we want people to get animals that are appropriate for their households.
That's awesome. Can we meet some of them?
You absolutely can. So this is Lil Man. Lil Man's a neutered male, about 2-year-old cat. He's a black cat, which by far and away is one of my favorite. They get a bad rap, obviously, with everything that goes on with Halloween and things like that. But anybody who knows anything about black cats knows that they're oftentimes the most social and friendly of all the cats. So black cats, to be honest, are one of my all-time favorites, and that's because they are kind of conditioned to actually seek out attention from us, because a lot of times the real pretty cats, like the Siamese, which get the cat-like behavior, is because people think they're so beautiful, they go and chase them. Well, black cats learn as an adaptive strategy to come to us to get attention and to get love and affection, to kind of stand out amongst the crowd. So if they don't kind of become adaptive and come up to us and interact with us, they may not get the attention that they want. And that's actually Temple Grandin, who is the one of the foremost leaders on not only pets and animal husbandry, but is also one of the foremost speakers on autism. She actually does a lot of research into animal welfare and animal behavior, and she says if you want a social cat, get a black cat. That's one of her things, and I actually agree with her completely. Black cats have a tendency to be the most friendly and outgoing and social of all of the cats. And I cannot encourage people enough to kind of take back. Most cultures, by the way, it is only kind of like a very Eastern Europe thing with the black cats. In fact, in a lot of cultures, it's unlucky. Like in British culture, if a black cat used to go onto a ship, it was unlucky to remove the black cat from the ship. Like other cultures really think the black cat is one of the most fascinating and most lovable of all creatures. And actually, in a lot of cultures across the world, the black cats are by far and away one of the most prized of all the cats. So you can see he's a real big love. He's very friendly and very social. He likes to sit in laps and loves to enjoy attention. Yes. So he is one of the cats that are up for adoption right now at our shelter. And our price for adoption for cats is $25. And that $25 includes spay, neuter, vaccination, deworming, and a microchip. So that's all things you get for that low price of $25. Yes, so very affordable and very reasonable. We want to make sure that people, when they choose to adopt a cat or get a cat, that cat comes complete with everything it needs to get off to a healthy and good start. So our goal is really just to encourage people to choose adoption for cats as much as they possibly can. So I'm here now with lovable, sweet Sparkles. Sparkles is 14 years young. Just an amazing cat. You can just see the difference in the cat between the 2-year-old that we just kind of showed off before and this 14-year-old cat who's just so eager to stay in a lap and be socialized and held and just wants that desperately. And this cat can have plenty of years of love to give left. And so we want to really encourage people to give these senior guys that forever home, that chance that they so desperately deserve. There's no reason why this cat can't go on to have a long and loving and healthy home. So I really want people to think about adopting Sparkles and giving her that chance. Because a lot of times the senior cats take a little bit longer to find that forever home in a shelter. And they can sit there for a little bit longer. And every one of those days that they sit there is a valuable day for them. You know, that's a day that they're not going to get back, and we really prefer to see them living in the lap of luxury in a home, on a couch, just really enjoying their golden years. So Frappuccino is a 3-year-old little pitty mix. This guy's tiny though. Look how small he is. But the important thing that I want to point out about this little guy is that he is missing one of his legs, actually. So a lot of times the animals that come to us require additional care and attention, like Frappuccino here. Frappuccino was most likely hit by a car that fractured his leg, and that leg just couldn't be pieced back together again. A lot of times we're getting them, this guy was a stray and picked up by a stray dog facility when he came to us, and so we see these types of things where these animals need that additional care and attention, and we make sure that between us or one of our partner rescue groups, we get these animals all the care that they so desperately need and deserve. And you can just see by his disposition just how friendly and social and outgoing he is, and how much he just wants a little extra love and attention. And it's awesome that we're in a position now as a shelter to be able to do those things. These are dogs that wouldn't have gotten that second chance just 10 years ago, that are now getting that opportunity to go on to live long, productive, and loving lives. So, yes, you are the good boy. You are the good boy. Aren't you, Frappuccino? Aren't you, baby? Yeah, and I know for a lot of people out there, the bully breeds tend to kind of push people away, but I want to tell people all the time, our dogs are so awesome, and a lot of the ones that we're putting into homes, we don't, we really, truly try to make sure that these are going to be healthy and happy and friendly and social dogs that are going to really make people wonderful pets. So, hey, Buck, this is, thank you. Lady's a 2-year-old. Pointer mix. She's super social. She loves other dogs and playing all day long. If there's no one there to entertain her, she is completely fine entertaining herself. She will chase a ball around by herself, throw it up in the air, and go and follow it around and chase it and go fetch it. She is just absolutely amazing. She's a doll. She'd be great with anybody and in any home. She just loves attention so much. Her tail just never stops wagging, and it's in that nice, gentle way you just really love to see in a dog that's really happy and content just to be held and in your arms and getting extra attention. I mean, right now she's honestly desperate to run over to you guys and just see who you are and meet you and greet you and get a little extra attention. She is just absolutely a doll. Very quiet, gentle, nice, and super sweet. You're gonna get extreme close-up. We're gonna get extreme close-up. Is she gonna close out? Oh, is she gonna go over there? Is she gonna go over? Say hi. Oh, is she gonna close up? Is she gonna close up?
All right, so once again, I am Carrie. I'm from the Elyria Public Library. I'm the Adult Services Librarian, and I'm on a Friday field trip at the Friendship APL in Elyria. Again, Greg, thank you for inviting us over. Everybody was adorable.
Oh, I know. It's my pleasure to have you guys over. I love to show off my animals here at the shelter. So if anybody wants to come and schedule a visit, for right now, you schedule a visit by going to our website, friendshipapl.org, and what you're going to do is it's going to direct you on how to go and schedule a visit if you see anybody you like. Right now, you schedule an appointment by sending an email to adoptions@friendshipapl.org. It's the easiest way. And once again, and just right after Memorial Day weekend, we are going to be opening back up to the public full again. So we will have visitors come down. You can feel free to come and check out all the animals we have up for adoption.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.